What's good? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, your dude, your homie. Y'all already know who I be. And if you don't, it be your boy, The Ward. What's going on, y'all? It is actually the first day of the week. Got a lot going on in the world. Crazy, man. Crazy. Here up in the Shy, we found out that Spencer Lee Jr. passed today. Man, he's done a lot in the community far as helping people. A lot of times, we have family members that, die and, they don't have the finances and everything like that. Spencer Leak was one of those type of people where, he always, looked out. He always helped, those who, may just didn't have it, You know how life is. Life be straight up lifing, y'all. Straight up lifing. So, that was just the type of, you know, man that he was. He was a champion for, the less fortunate and, those who, just, need help. And that's how it is, for a lot of us, man. We can never look down on people. We can never, we shouldn't look down on people. We should not, think that we are so great and, so much, because you just never know how life is. You just never know. Life is crazy. We all are, a banana peel away from the pole house, some may be a banana peel or two, away, but, life, man, anything can happen. You just never know. It's just crazy, man. So many people, are dying, are passing away. I lost in the past year, 5 people to cancer. Lost 5 people to cancer. 4 of them I grew up with, in the church. So, yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man. It's something you hear today and you're gone tomorrow. You just never know. You just really, really never know. That's just how life is. And, we don't have time to hold grudges and, be bitter. You better live your life each and every day the best way that you can. And you better, I like to create memories, moments and memories. That's one thing that I like to do. Creating moments and memories, that is key. That's big. That's big with me. Creating moments and memories with loved ones, those I'm close to, those in, and close in my life. I don't think I have a inner circle or anything like that, but, I have a, family that I love. And so, you just never know, man. Life is something. You can be full of life, going about your regular daily routines, out and about, you're moving around, you're doing this and you're doing that throughout the day. And by the end of the day, you can be laying on the morgue table, the morgue tray, stiff and cold, just like that. So, man, we got to live our life, to the fullest. We have to, live a life that is pleasing to the Most High, to God. It's just a lot going on, man, in the world. So much division, so much evil and wickedness, that is going on. And, I just want to just encourage you guys, out there. I don't think it's going to get better. Because, as they say, these are the last days, and each generation, as we can see, each generation is getting worse and worse. But I don't believe all is lost. There's still a lot of good people in the world, and, good people are raising good people still. Everything is, not bad or lost or whatever. There's some good people. There's a good young people, even in this generation. I don't know what they call Gen Z or whatever they call. But there's still some good kids out here. There's a lot going on with this. And it's not just happening in Chicago. It's happening in other cities. These teen takeovers. What do you guys think about that? These teen takeovers that is, going on, popping off. A lot of people say that, there's not anything for them to do and they're bored. There's no programs or not a lot for them to do. Actually is. There's a lot of YMCAs. There's a lot of gyms. There's a lot of community centers that are open. These kids are just making a choice to gather. And I don't think it's all bad, or maybe not all, meant to be bad, or it's not to cause trouble. I don't believe the original intent of it, but you do have those bad apples that also comes along with it and comes in the crowd starting stuff and, doing the foolish and the bad things that they do that makes it look bad as a whole. But there's a lot that kids can get into. There's a lot of programs. And I know, like, my mom and dad, when I was growing up, when I was 13 or whatever, and I believe they still have programs like this now. My mom had got me in, it was part of the Richard Daley summer program. And what it was is for the summer, you learn how to fly airplanes, helicopters or whatever, stuff like that. You learn how to fly for the whole summer. So, we went up to Daley College, where we were in class and everything like that. And we learned how to fly airplanes and helicopters. So, at the end of the day, at the end of the course, and, we also got paid for it too. We also got paid for it. It's part of, like I said, Mayor Daley summer program, job program. And we got paid to learn how to fly. And like I said, at the end of it, I actually got the opportunity. The instructor did us one by one, where we all got a chance to fly the airplane. It was a small airplane, and we got a chance to fly it. And I got a chance to do turns and, go going upside down and all that type of stuff. It was so dope, so cool. And I know they do. I know they still got programs or whatever like this out there. There's all type of programs, all type of programs. So we can't say that, you know, the city and your city that you live in, that there's nothing for them to do. There's a lot for these kids to do. There's a lot that they can be doing. And the parents just can't be the kid's friend and give them a choice. I was growing up, we didn't get a choice. You know, we were told what we were doing. My mom and dad was like, you working for the summer. You 13, 14 now, you're working for the summer. We didn't get no choice. And I think that's one of the problems today with the parenting today is we give these kids too much of a choice. You know, like they grown already. Now I understand that, you know, as a kid get older, you know, you give them, you know, a little more leeway and all this type of stuff. And that's fine. But 8, 9, 10 years old, you know, what do you want to do, Johnny? Little Johnny? Little Sheikah, you know, how do you feel? What do you want? What do you want to do for the summer? Do you want to work or you don't want to work? I think we give these kids too much of a choice. You know, you are the parent. You have to put your foot down. You have to say, this is what you're doing for the summer. You got a whole itinerary of things that you're going to do for the summer. And we're going to stick to this game plan, this goal, these goals or whatever for the summer. We're going to stick to it and we're going to do it. Another thing is we have taken out a lot of the vocational schools, especially in Chicago. We have closed a lot of the vocational schools where these kids could learn trades and, you know, learn how to work on cars, trades for being an electrician, trades for being a carpenter, trades for being a plumber. You know, a lot of these schools have been closed down, and we've put up these business schools or whatever. Everybody's not going to go to college. Everybody's not going to go to college. College is not for everybody. And that's something that we got to understand. College is not for everybody. So we have to have trades. We have to have other alternatives for these kids to have at their disposal and things that they may be interested in as a career. Everybody's not going to work on Wall Street, and everybody's not going to be in corporate America. You know, that is not for everybody. Everybody does not have that type of mentality. So we cannot expect these type of things from, you know, these kids. You know, we have to give them options on careers that they may like and have a passion for. We have to let them see that they have options of things that they can, you know, get in and take a liking to and become passionate about it. You know, so what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Talk about teens takeovers. Just a lot going on in life. Life, as they say, be lifing, period. That part. Life just be damn lifing. And, you know, just got to be prayed up. You got to be prayed up with you and your kid. You got to know what the hell your kid is, what your kid is doing, you know. I know America is set up. You know, we just work. Hell, a lot of times both parents or working 2 jobs. That's just how much it takes to make it out here. And, it's just really sad. America is a country where parents work too much because everything is so high and so expensive. So you have to work. You have to work more than one job. You have to have more than one source of income. But who gets neglected? The household, your family, the kids. They get neglected in the process. And so that's why they out and about, getting into everything and, doing whatever. When I was coming up, it wasn't like this. Everything wasn't sky high like this. Prices and everything is just high and expensive. And, my dad could work and my mom could be a stay-at-home mom if she wanted to, which she did. She was a stay-at-home mom. But now things is just high as hell. Everything's high. They're going to be charging us just to damn breathe in a minute. So the kids getting neglected. They get neglected and they get overlooked. Parents are not spending enough time with them. A lot of times we see our kids, just for a few minutes throughout the day because we're working so much. Hell, that's the same way with our spouses. We barely have time to spend time and be with our spouses because we're working. America is working too much because everything is just sky high. Food, gas, clothes, shoes, everything. To go out as a family, to eat dinner as a family, to go out to a family event, to have a good time, somewhere fun or fun and games or whatever. It's so expensive. If you're able to get a chance to even do that, have time to even do that, it's so expensive. It's crazy. So, those are just some of the things that I think that can curtail a lot of these teen takeovers as parents start being parents again, getting control, knowing where your kids are, setting a game plan for them, especially, the summer's coming up. Get a game plan, what they're going to be doing each and every day. If they're going to be working for the summer, if they're going to be in some type of summer camp, put them in summer camp, put them to work, have an itinerary, an everyday summer itinerary, for your child, that's what my parents did. We had, we had a great childhood. We had an awesome childhood. Oh my God. I can't even go into it. Man, we had vacational Bible school at our church. I grew up in the projects. 5100 Robert Taylor projects. And my church, Greater Harvest, was right across the street from where I lived at. Our earlier days growing up, living in the projects. Robert Taylor's 5100. Greater Harvest, our church, our home church. A lot of my family is still there to this day. We had a fantastic childhood. We had vocational Bible school during the summer. Oh my God, man. Vocational Bible school was litty. Man, it was 2 weeks of just, and we didn't even have a problem. A lot of us wanted to learn about the Bible and God and stuff like that. So it was really cool. Back then it was 2 weeks, two or 3 weeks or whatever like that. And man, oh man, we would be at we called it VBS, Vocational Bible School. We would be at VBS in the summer Like I said, I think at first it was about 3 weeks, and then it went to like 2 weeks. And then when the 90s and 2000s, whatever, started rolling around, it got to be like a week and some days or whatever like that. But it was about 3 weeks, 2, 3 weeks or whatever when I was a kid. Man, we had so much fun. We were outside. These kids today don't know nothing about having a good time playing around outside as a kid. And that's the problem today. We let these kids grow up too fast. Let them grow up too fast. And even my kid, my oldest daughter, wanted to be grown so fast. And now she even see, like I tried to tell you, this grown up stuff ain't for the weak. It ain't for the weak. It ain't for the weak at all. Now she 20, oldest daughter going on 26 or whatever like that. Yeah. So she see now. It ain't all being grown, ain't all what it, cropped up to be. It really ain't. And man, shoot. Life is just, it goes by so quick, goes by so fast. And these kids don't know nothing about playing outside, strikeout, four corner square, volleyball. We play volleyball. We play football. Our church out in the parking lot, we had a big old parking lot, big old wide parking lot at our church. And that's where we played everything. We played it. We played running bases. We played strikeout. We played softball. Sometimes baseball with the baseball. Man, we had a ball. When I tell you we had a ball, man. We had a good time. We played some. We had basketball. We had a basketball court in the parking lot. We would wake up probably about 7 a.m, getting ready for the vocational Bible school from like 7, 8 in the morning or whatever. And we would be right across the street at our church, Greater Harvest. After vacational Bible school was over, we still outside in the parking lot playing whatever. From 7, 8 in the morning till a lot of times 11, 12 o'clock at night. 11, 12 o'clock at night. Some would probably go across the street. This is what we used to do, us project kids. We probably leave for a little while, go eat dinner or whatever. We come right back over to the church, finish playing all day long. It was great being a kid, man. Oh, man, it was great being a kid back in the 80s and the 90s. It was so great. I had an excellent childhood, thanks in large part to my church, man, to my church. I grew up in a two-family household, but thankful for my church, man, Greater Harvest, because there was a lot of men. We had a lot of men. And it wasn't like how it is today. It wasn't as Archie Bunker would say, he'll shake his, you ever watch Archie Bunker? This maybe go over some of you young people heads. They don't know nothing about All in the Family, Archie Bunker. But, for the, as they say, gay people, whatever like that, he'll shake his hand. It was none of that hanky-panky type stuff. We didn't have none of those type of guys. I'm sure they were around. You had people that like same sex or whatever like that. But it was nothing. If you were, you were not out in the open with it. But I can say that we had a lot of real men, at my home church. Greater Harvest with, even for the kids that didn't have a dad at home. There were so many men at church. And the thing about our church is, if you grew up in church like I did, we were at church 24/7. Yeah. We ain't had no choice, every day it was something at church. A lot of days we were at church 6 days a week. Sometimes 7. Every now and then 7 days a week. I mean, from choir rehearsal, young adult choir rehearsal, the radio choir, which is the older people choir rehearsal. Then you had twice out of the week you had Bible study. Then on Friday you had Terry service. That lasted from started about what 9, 10 o'clock at night to about 5, 6 in the morning. Whew, yeah. And depending on if it ain't no funerals or anything like that on Saturday, you may be good. And then church all day on Sunday. Yeah. So it was bananas. That was crazy, And my thing was with my parents, they tripped me out. Now, on a school night, you worried about me on any other school night. Oh, you got to get up early in the morning for school. You can't be up all night long. You can't be up late. We had to go to bed at a certain time. A lot of times, 8 o'clock, 8, 9 o'clock or whatever like that, depending on our age and as old as we got or whatever like that. But yeah, 8, 9 o'clock or whatever like that. As we got older, 10 or whatever like that. And that was my thing. We had to be in bed on a school night. But on Sunday night, we had church till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning because they just having a good old time running around the church, busting your head on the pew, shouting all over the place and everything. And I just be like, oh, you ain't worried about me going to school, going to bed early for school, late on Sunday, but on Monday through Thursday or whatever, it's an issue. Yeah, it was bananas. It was crazy, man. My parents were tripped. All of our parents were tripped. They weren't worried about Sunday. We getting up. We be up 1 o'clock in the morning, still getting up for school. Rain, snow, sleet, whatever. But any other day, it's school night. You got to be in the bed. 8 o'clock. Yeah. So, man, I had a great childhood, like I said, though. And, we just have to be better at, I know life is crazy. Everything is expensive. But you got to know where your kids are. You got to know what your kids doing. Even if you at work, you got to put a tracker on their phone and, know where they at. Send them to a responsible friend house or whatever. You just can't let them be raising themselves. Can't do that. That's a no-no. We got to get out of that mindset of giving kids so much leeway at a young age. That's just not, it's not cool. You got to know what they're doing, who they're with, and what they're doing with who. We got to know that. So, I don't know, man. Y'all leave y'all takes, your comments, how you feel, what you think, how your childhood was. Let me know. Let me know what you think about the teen takeovers. What can be done, what can be better, because we just can't just rely on the police. When I was growing up, it took a village. It took everybody. And I get it that, you got a lot of weirdos or whatever in the world, but when I was growing up, everybody can whoop you. Everybody can spank you or whatever. Now, you got these ignorant young mamas. You better not say nothing to my child. You better not even look at my child. You better not touch my child. We have to get back to raising these kids as a community. Now, I ain't just talking about just let anybody put your hands on your child or whatever like that, but get you a community. It takes a community to raise these kids. Get a community where you won't have to worry about weirdos and pedophiles and, just people that got these nasty spirits and minds, establish a community where we got to get back to that. Establishing a community, our community, and us taking care of us. We got to get back to that, y'all. We got to get back to that. So I don't want to talk your head off. This has just been a night that, I called it the Ward After Dark. The Ward After Dark. That's what I call it. I'll probably be doing more of these, man. And, I'll probably do some music or whatever. I know they be tripping on the music and everything, but yeah, man, I'm going to be coming to you with just more coming together, just talking about different things, different issues and topics or whatever. So let me know what y'all want to talk about, man. We're going to come on here for the Ward After Dark. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. What you want to talk about, man? What you talking about, man? What you saying, man? What y'all talking about? What y'all want to talk about? I'm here. I'm up. I'm ready. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's get deeper into it. But let's not just talk about it. Let's come up with some answers. Let's come up with some resolves about these issues, these problems that plagues our community. We have to take care of us. The problem with our people of color today, we will talk about it like just on and on and on, like diarrhea at the mouth. We'll talk about it amongst each other. Our problems, our issues that plague us, our communities. But we won't do a damn thing about it, but just run our damn mouth. And that's that. I've always had a problem with that, with as they say, black people. I have a problem with. I've always been a person. That's a problem, man. What we doing? What we doing to solve it? Let's make it do what it do, baby. Let's do it. Yeah. Now that's what I'm talking about, baby. Solutions. And not somebody that's just talking about it, but somebody that's being about it. Somebody, you ain't got to tell them what to do. They just do it. They just do it, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. So let's make it do what it do, y'all. Let's not talk about it. Let's talk about it and come up with solutions about whatever is plaguing, bothering, or affecting us in our communities. It takes us to save us. I believe that. I really, really do. It takes us to save us. I want to get into maybe the next time I want to get into men's health. Guys, you know that you're supposed to wake up. I mean, it should be you should wake up with morning wood. Now, this ain't nothing nasty or nothing like that, but look it up. Look it up. You should wake up, on point. We all should. And if we're not, it could be because of we're not getting enough sleep, rest, or whatever like that. We're stressed or whatever. I want to get into this with men. Men are afraid to go to the doctors. So maybe on the next discussion, I want to talk about this, especially men of color, us African American men. We don't like going to the doctors because, we take on this persona that we so tough and all this type of stuff and hard and everything. But we the biggest wussies when it comes to going to the doctor and seeing about ourselves and our health so we can be here longer. We die first. Men, especially African American men, we're dying first before a lot of the other races. We have a shorter lifespan. So this is some stuff that I want to get into. We should have morning wood. We should have a heart on. This ain't me talking nasty and nothing like that. Like I said, you can Google this. You can look it up. We should have morning wood, in the morning when we wake up. That shows that the heart is beating and flowing properly. That you're in good health. Everything is, flowing. Like I said, the heart, and there's a whole lot of other things that goes along with that you should wake up with morning wood. It shows that things is flowing. Things is, with your heart, with other things in your body. So if you're not consistently waking up with morning wood with a heart on, if it's not stress or not getting the accurate amount of rest, then there may be some other health issues or whatever going on. Could be some things with prostate or whatever like that. So, men, we have to get ourselves checked out. I ain't got no problem with going to the doctor because I want to catch whatever it is, early. I want to catch it. I want to get it. So, yeah, I want to know. I want to be as long as possible for my grandkids and possibly their kids. I want to walk, my daughters or whatever down the aisle or granddaughter down the aisle. Yeah, I still want to be around, man. I want to be here. I want to be here making it do what it do, baby. Yeah. So that's something that we probably going to talk about. You don't believe me? You can look it up for yourself. You should wake up. We should wake up with morning wood. I know I know I haven't been getting proper rest and, stuff like that a lot of times. So I know I don't. At times I know I don't. So there's some things that even I need to work on and do better at, getting better rest. And, we can't let stress, things like that stress us out. Stress take a toll. Stress kills. It really does. So these are some of the things that I definitely want to talk about. Probably the next time on The Ward After Dark. And I'll probably talk about some of this stuff on a podcast show, The Rundown, on my Rundown podcast show too. I'll probably be talking about these things, man. So it's vital, man. You know, we want to be here as men as long as possible, man. We shelling out all this money. We want to provide. I want you to provide and pay all our bills and all this type of stuff. I mean, we got to be here to be able to take care of our family. Guys, it's not about your life is not just you just working to pay everything. No, I rebuke that. I speak against that. That is not what your life, that is not what my life, our lives is going to be about. We're not going to just work and kill ourselves, and by the time we get old or whatever, we all decrepit and barely can move or whatever. If we get old, you know, because we dropping like flies, you know. So, you know, you're not here just to be an ATM. You're not here just to work and pay all the folks' bills and stuff like that. You deserve happiness. You deserve peace. You deserve a good life. You deserve to do things that you're passionate about and that serves you and is a blessing to your mental health and to the health of your mind and the health of your body. You deserve to do the things that brings you joy and delight and releases peace and happiness throughout your body. And throughout your spirit. You deserve that, guys. So these are some of the stuff that I definitely want to talk about, man. Definitely want to talk about this. So, yeah. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that I've been talking about for all this time. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know how you feel about the different topics that I have just been discussing. We've been talking about. Let me know how you feel in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. I want to know what you're thinking. I will respond back to you. So get at me. Let me know what it do. You may not agree with everything that I say. Let me know. Let's talk about it. This has been your boy, your homie. You already know who the hell I be. And if you don't, I be your boy, The Ward. And listen, if nobody told you today or in a very long time, yo, I love you, man. I love y'all. You're loved. Don't throw in the towel. Don't give up. Because right when you throw in the towel, don't take your life. You have so much to live for. And that is just the deception of the enemy that may want you to take your life. Right when you decide to do that, that's when God opens up a door, a window, a back door, a basement door, hell, any type of door or window, and will bless your life. So don't let the enemy bring lies and deceit and fool you into taking your life. Don't do it. Don't give him the satisfaction. You have so much more to do. And there is so many people that is waiting on you to get it together, waiting on you, waiting on your voice, waiting on your direction, waiting on your lead. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Don't end your life. You got a lot left to do, and God ain't through with you yet, man. So, as I always say, hashtag do what they said that you couldn't do. It's been your boy, The Ward. Love y'all so dang on much. Y'all have a good week, man. Be blessed. Love y'all. Peace.